China.org.cn. The Beijing Expo 2019 Horticultural Exhibition. In this year's Beijing Expo, there are 86 countries and 24 international organizations participate in the display. So before I get started, I need to tell you that in addition to today's video, we still have more videos and live broadcasts on the topic of Beijing Expo, and we will cover more interesting topics and more unique pavilions. So please follow our page. Now let's get started. Now that we have arrived at one of the four themed pavilions in the Beijing Expo 2019, it is the International Pavilion. As you can see, there are 94 flower umbrellas here. It composes the roof of the International Pavilion. And it is not just for to look very beautiful, but it can also perform some other functions. And this delicate functions is designed by the architects and designers. What are they? One of the beautiful ladies from the International Pavilion will tell us. Let's go to find her. Hi, Miss Zhang.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So this is Miss Zhang. She is one of the guides in the International Pavilion, and in our trip in this pavilion, she will be the guide for us and tell us more about the detailed information and the design and more about the pavilions from different countries in this International Pavilion.
Thank you. Welcome to International Pavilion of Expo Beijing, China. I'm your guide, Zhang Xi. Today, I will show you around the garden. You can see there are 95 umbrella-like devices which emerge together like sea flowers. It is very beautiful. You can also you can see that. You can see the column. It can absorb rainwater into underground. The rainwater can be used to greening and landscape water.
Now let's go inside the pavilion to see what it's like.
Sweet.
Okay, as I'm walking down the stairs, I have noticed that there is a green wall decorated with grass and flowers here. So what is this for?
This is ecological green wall. We can see the theme and sub-theme of Expo Beijing, China. The theme is live green, live better, and the spirit is inspired by nature, inspired by soul.
So I can see that on our left hand, there is a 5-story wall. It's just like a picture or a landscape. So what is the design concept of this landscape?
Okay, this is a 5-continent ramp. From downside to upside, the respectively represents the Asia, Europe, Africa, Oceania, and America. Each have the meaning that the friendship of the people from all over the world will last forever, and it also shows the horticulture from all over the world. Now we are going to the entrance lobby, which is designed under the philosophy of One Belt and One Road. Its construction area is 1,260 square meters. All right, this is a medium visible tapestry. The first section is Asia, Europe, and America. It mainly shows us some nature and humanity's landscape. Even this is architecture from Europe.
And I can see that there are different kinds of plants which are originated from these 5 continents.
Yes, this is Africa. The bottom of the tapestry is also shows some plants from Africa. Now we are. Let's look at the second part. This is Oceania. Oceania mainly includes Australia, New Zealand, and many Iceland. This is a tree from Australia. On the tree, it is a koala.
Koala.
Yes.
It's cute.
Yes.
This light is beautiful. I mean that this kind of light show is hard to build.
On our right side, this is America, and on the right, this is South America. That is North America. You can see in the middle of the tapestry is the leopard.
It is moving, right?
Yes. It's waving to us. Seems like to say,
hello.
Explore. On this part is North America's landscape. It shows us the migrant of the bird. Now we can see our left side. It is digital window of plants. From it we can see some paintings from Western and Eastern. It also shows the original of plants.
So I guess we have reached the end of this light show.
Yeah.
And now let's go upstairs to see what's next. So on the first floor of this international exhibition hall, I can already see some halls from other countries like Syria, Myanmar, and Pakistan.
Yeah. In front of us, this is Pakistan exhibition area. You can see the whole space is white. It's the symbol of Islam.
So let's continue to walk into it.
We can see it is the wall which is decorated with green plants. It's very suitable for the theme of Explore Live Green, Live Better. Pakistan is the agriculture country, so in the exhibition area, it's mainly shown as plants and green life. In our right hand, this is flowers and trees, both of them from Pakistan.
And I can see in front of us a lot of people here are buying souvenirs from Pakistan, right?
Okay.
I can see their national traditional clothes and some scarves and some handicrafts.
In the cabinet, they show us the clothes, this embroidery. They are made by brass.
in front of us, we can see some handicrafts made of wood.
Yeah. This wood was made by rose.
So it is called rosewood, right?
Yes.
Where does he go? So could you tell us more about this rosewood?
This is made from Pakistan. It's maybe rosewood from Pakistan. It's the most famous of the wooden from Pakistan. It's you will be smell it. Put to it. Okay.
It smells good.
Okay. It's
It smells like
yeah.
rose.
We look this most of this wooden is a carving. It's by handmade carving. It's a handmade. And you look this pot of glass, which is made from also rosewood.
So it's all handmade, right?
Yeah. You look this.
The carvings are delicate.
This is a famous, which was maybe. It's not rosewood. It's rosewood. Yeah.
Okay,
This is
thank
most
you.
of BA and north of the Pakistan, which were work of the mostly at the north of the Pakistan. We prefer there to be. You go there and you look this. You can see from Pakistan.
Okay, thank you. And here are some jades. Some jade animals, jade vases, and plates. They are also handmade from Pakistan.
We can see Pakistan area show many handicrafts from the country. In addition, China has a good relationship with Pakistan. In 1951, China established a diplomatic relationship with Pakistan. Yeah. It's the end of Pakistan area.
Okay, let's go to the next pavilion. And now I can see some countries from Africa. So what's our next hall?
Next, we are going to the exhibition area of Madagascar.
Is that have you seen that film of Madagascar?
Yes.
It's a cartoon film, right? It's famous.
You can see from the whole space, Madagascar many show as plants and animals from the country, because it is a unique island of Africa. In front of us, it is a baobab tree. You can see it has a strong branch. When it is fruitful, the monkeys will climb it to eat fruit. That is why the baobab tree. In front of us, we can see an animal. It is a ring-tailed lemur. It also a unique animal in Madagascar.
So here are still some handicrafts selling here. Are this made of wood? No, this is made of stone, right? Stone balls.
Are you interested about stone?
Hello? Hello? Hello, what is this leather?
Crocodile.
Crocodile. 鳄鱼皮 crocodile. Crocodile leather. And it feels hard and tough. So what is this animal?
It's a monkey.
Monkey.
Yes.
Does it live in your country?
Yes.
It only lives in your country.
Yes.
Great. So all of these handicrafts are handmade.
Yes. It is made with raffia.
With a raffia.
Yes, raffia.
And what is this?
It is made of horn of zebu. Horn of zebu. Horn of cow.
Horn of cow.
Yeah. It's a bracelet.
A bracelet, right?
Yeah.
It's a little bigger for me. And what are these stones?
It's a jasp.
Jasp.
Yes, the name is jasp.
Jasp.
Yes.
And what is for? It's for decoration or?
Yes, for decoration.
For decoration.
It is vetiver.
Vetiver.
Yes, the resin of vetiver. It is good for health, and it is used for mosquitoes.
Mosquito
Yeah.
to prevent you from
Yeah.
biting of mosquito, right? It smells unique, like it smells good.
Yes, and the smelling kill insects.
Oh, this smell can kill insects.
Yes, it is good for the circulation of blood.
It's very useful in summer. But in your country, it's summer all the year, right?
No.
Your hat's beautiful. Hat is beautiful.
He said that your hat is beautiful.
Ah, thank you.
And now we have finished our trip on the first floor of the International Pavilion. And now let's go to the second floor by the escalator. Let's go.
Let's go.
So could you tell us what kind of countries are on the second floor?
In the second floors, there are 4 country exhibition area and 5 international organization area. The second floor's exhibition area is construction area is about 3,500 square meters.
So we can see that this international pavilion is kind of made of glass because there are a lot of glass windows covering the surface.
Yeah, we can see the outer of the wall of International Pavilion is glass curtain wall. This design is very good for the whole architecture's natural lighting.
Okay, now let's start our visit on the second floor.
Yeah. Now we are going through our corridor to the second floor.
Yeah, I can see a lot of beautiful gardens through this corridor.
From the architecture, we can see that orange is the Chinese pavilion, and that architecture, like a butterfly, it is the Gui theater. From the airport, we can also see some beautiful gardens of China, such as that yellow is Macau Garden, and besides of it, it is the Taiwan Garden. Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Zhang. Thank you very much. And now we are very honored to have invited the coordinator of the Vatican Hall, Mr. Zhen. So let's say hello to Mr. Zheng. Hello, Mr. Zheng.
Hello, Jay. See you again.
See you again. Nice to see you again.
Welcome to the Vatican Pavilion,
Okay.
or rather the Holy See Pavilion.
Okay, thank you very much. And now let us invite Mr. Zheng to tell us more about the details and the design philosophy of the Vatican Hall, please.
Yes, as you know, the Vatican City is the smallest country in the world, area-wise. But 75% of the Vatican is composed of gardens and museum and also the library. You can see on this video, it's a presentation of the Vatican Gardens.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, you can see that we have designed this pavilion according to these gardens with fountains, with flowers. There are many tropical plants from different parts of the world. And as we enter, you can see that the original design is with water, fountain, water coming out, sources of life.
Going down from the roof.
Yeah, and as we enter, we can see that there's a painting coming from the Vatican Museum. The theme is on Adam and Eve, the harmonious relationship with among people and with animals. This painting is painted by the famous artist Peter Wengel. He's very good at depicting animals and birds. In fact, there are more than 240 birds and animals coming from the different continents. And one peculiar thing of this painting is that he forgot one thing. I don't know if he knew that 200 years later in the expo, we are having this kind of game for children. There are many children coming to this pavilion during these days, and we invite them to look for this bird. And
it's hard to find. It's too small. I mean.
Well, we can indicate where it is, and after they locate it, and we give them some postcard to paint on it. And at the end of this 5-month period, we will have a competition. We will choose among these children their works to find the best paintings, and we give them a prize. And in this pavilion, we make use of an advanced technology called Wi-Fi, which is different from Wi-Fi. It's healthy for the body. In fact, we have an app. Once you download this app, once you come close to the painting, the explanation will come out automatically. There's a two-way communication with the light. And about light, we also have a hatchery. The hatchery is divided into two parts. One, we can come closer to the hatchery. The hatchery is divided in two parts. One, because plants, they receive from the spectrum particular colors and help them to grow. These flowers, these orchids, are provided by the Dutch Pavilion. There's a long tradition in Europe that the flowers in Vatican, in the St. Peter's Square, during the festivals like Christmas or Easter, they are provided by the Dutch country, by Holland. And we keep this tradition. These flowers are provided by the Dutch Holland Pavilion. And now we are only after 1 week after the opening of the expo. You can see the difference. The one receiving a particular light spectrum are blossoming. The point is that there's no conflict between science and what we believe, meaning to say we want to encourage we want to encourage the use of technology for the betterment of people's life, for better life. And here we can also find in the Western tradition there are manuscripts of herbal medicines. It's a long tradition of Western herbal medicine collected in this manuscript. We have a copy of the original manuscript with a collection of plants and little explanations. And also we have also an electronic copy that people can flip on it and read the contents. So you see all different kinds of plants that we want to preserve, for future generation, for the health of the people. And one particular thing in the middle of this pavilion, with a metal plate with sculptures. It's an exact copy of a metal plate in St. Peter's Square. And on top of it is written Es Levante, in a Latin word, which means the wind, uplifting wind is blowing from the east. Meaning to say, the Holy See wants to establish, is looking towards the east. China is in the eastern part of the world, and we want to establish this friendship between the Holy See and China. The Vatican is looking towards east. The wind is blowing, coming from the east, meaning east in Asia, coming from Asia, from China. And when we go out of this pavilion with collections from Vatican Library and Vatican Museums, the gardens, we can see another installation.
Oh, I can see that.
This installation is composed, first of all, with an olive tree with branches. It's golden plated. Half of it now is in China, and the other half probably it will be installed in Vatican. So it's very meaningful that if there are cultural institutions here can have this collection, we will be very happy to the Vatican will be very happy to leave it here in China. Half of it is here, half of it will be in the Vatican. And on this installation, there is a quote from Laudato Si, a document written by Pope Francis on ecology. And I quote, "Whether believers or not, we are agreed today that the earth is essentially a shared inheritance whose fruits are meant to benefit everyone." So we have common ground. So I think it's very suitable.
Common earth.
Yeah, we have a common heritage, and we all are concerned about ecology, about better life of the people, and we want to leave this common heritage to future generations. So you are most welcome to the Vatican Pavilion, and this is also an official stamp of the Vatican. And during these days, many children are coming and they want to have their passport printed with this stamp.
Wow, that's great. Thank you, Mr. Chen. Thank you for your introduction.
You're most welcome.
I believe that many of you have known about more details about this Vatican Hall. I think this hall is just like the country of Vatican. It is small, but it is very delicate and it's meaningful. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for coming.
And now that Mr. Zheng have provided us with a detailed information about the Vatican Hall, and I think that this Vatican Hall is just like the country of Vatican. They are both small, but they are both very delicate and beautiful.
This way, please.
So now that we have almost finished the trip on the second floor, and now we will go downstairs to go to the first floor. So Ms. Zhang, tell us what is on the first floor.
The first floor is the competition hall of International Pavilion. Our first exhibition is managed as the Peony Competition because the date of the peony is in the end of April and May.
So now we have arrived at the first floor. As you can see, this floor is composed of flowers. Which flower could you tell us?
Peony.
Peony is the national flower of China.
Yes. And the theme of the competition hall is flourishing world, beautiful world. You can see our left hand, it managed as 9 wild peony of China. China is the hometown of peony, and it is also the origin center of peony. This 9 wild species we can regard it as the ancestor of the peony that we can see in the world. And the color it is divided into from white to black.
Ms. Zhang, what is this? Is it a real thing? Is it real peaches here?
It is the flower arrangement art. You can see there are 7 peaches on the platform. It means that 70th anniversary of China.
So I can see the flowers here. Is that real thing or?
The peach is not real, but the peony is real.
It's a real peony, right?
Yeah.
Great.
You can see the left is the ancient wood.
Ancient wood.
Yeah. The ancient wood represents that China, a country with ancient history and civilization, becomes a prosperous and peaceful country.
It seems that many visitors here have the same question with me. They will always ask the volunteers and the guides that if these flowers are real thing.
Yes.
So these flowers in behind the glass, are they the real thing?
Yes, they are dried flowers made by real flowers after a series of processes such as dehydration and waxing.
So they used to be a real flower, but after a series of processes, they have become dry flowers.
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Zhao, I have found that this kind of peony tree is a little bit different about those flowers we have seen before. I mean, they are taller and they have fewer blossoms. Why? What is it?
It is the northwestern peony in China. Due to the climate and the temperature in northwestern, it's windy and dry, so it has a strong branch and fewer flowers. Yeah.
Okay, I know. Okay, Ms. Zhang, I can see that there are a lot of peonies which have been cut off from their trees and be arranged in different vases. What is it for?
This is cut flower art. It is the base of flower arrangement art. This art can be used to home decoration, wedding, and some society etiquette. Let's continue to visit. In this part, this flower arrangement, most of it are designed under the festival.
So
Yeah.
I see from this card that it is the theme of this artwork is the national holiday
Yes.
of China.
You can see it. The whole is very flourishing.
Yeah, it's colorful and
Yeah.
it is many kinds of different flowers here. So this one is for the Dragon Boat Festival, right?
Yes.
哇，这更好看。你别在那儿了，你这边，你这边，我帮你站哪儿？我
没有，这是 nine double festival.
Oh, Double Nine Festival.
Yes, you can see it is very tall. It means 这个思乡。
Oh, homesteading.
对。
So each one of them is put here for the celebration of one of the traditional festivals in China.
Yes. They are not by the festival theme. It is just the design.
So in China, people will use this kind of artworks of flower arrangement to celebrate the festivals as well as to show their hope and hope for good luck and happiness. So I guess that it is the end of our trip in International Pavilion, right?
Yeah. It is very beautiful.
So
wish you have a good day.
Thank you very much, Miss Zhang. Thank you for your information and for your guide. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, everybody, this is China.org.cn. Welcome back to our live broadcast. And now that we have finished our trip in the International Pavilion, now I will lead you to another beautiful pavilion. So continue to follow us and don't go away. And now we are at the area of International Gardens. As you can see, today's weather in Beijing is quite great, and the air is fresh, the wind is blowing, and the sky is blue, and there are so many people here. And now let me see, we are at the entrance of Japanese garden. So let's take a look at it. Let's go. Here is a special flag. It's the traditional flag, fish flag in Japan. And now I can see a small pond here with water filling in it, and there are still many fish here. As you can see, the water is quite clear, so we can see those fish swimming here clearly. And there you can see a 3-story waterfall, and the water is flowing from here down to the pond. And now we are it's our pleasure to have the coordinator of this Japanese garden, to tell us more information about the design, the theory, and the philosophy of this Japanese garden.
このまず日本のこのパビリオンはですね、お庭と建物が一体となった空間、平屋一如という理念のもとに作られています。
就我们日本馆是按照那个叫庭屋一如的这样一个理念，就是做了这个庭院和室内。
He just told me that this Japanese garden is a combination of both the courtyard and the pavilion, and these two can be blended into the surroundings.
で、お庭は、まず地線式という、池をですね、こう真ん中に配置したやり方と、あと借景といって、お庭の向こうが外にある景色を、借りる、お庭と外の景色が一体となって一つの空間になるようにデザインされています。
就是我们的庭院是按照这种十全式的庭院设计的，然后中间是池塘，然后两边都是风景，而且我们都是利用了借景的理念，就是借远山延庆的高山，然后从山上望过去，前一段时间还有雪，然后下边是流动的水，然后有3段瀑布注池中，是这样一个理念。
So this garden is a typically Japanese garden, and the philosophy here is that this garden can be blended into the surroundings, and they kind of borrow the mountains in the remote. In winter, the mountain can be seen from here, and we can even see the snows. The white snows on the top of the mountain. So it's kind of borrowing the landscape from the mountain to this yard, and we can enjoy these two things together.
で、ここで使われている石と植物は全て、ヤンチンで手配していて、で、鯉は、日本の小千谷市というところから持ってきた鯉です。
就是我们庭院还是采取了就是现地取材的这样理念，就是除了这个锦鲤和远处的石灯笼之外，全部都是在延庆当地采购的这个碎石也好，植物也好，是这样一个现地取材的理念。
And another point is that all of the materials, except for the fish and the lanterns here, are from Japan. But all of these materials, like the stones, the grass, the plants, the flowers, the trees, are all from local the Yanqing district in Beijing. So let's go inside the pavilion to see what's in it.
里边现在主要是那个池坊，日本花艺师协会和 FD 2家的展品。
I can see a very huge plant here. Is that a pine tree? 是松树吗？ So what kind of art is it?
这个就是从上海砍的五针松，然后砍了50段，然后从上海运过来，然后经过这池坊的老师指导下，重新拼接而成的一个作品。然后它也是一种插花的一种表现形式。然后您可以看见这边有2段的大粉末，我们叫它是丽花。
So this pine tree that we are seeing now has been cut in Shanghai, and at that time it has been cut into 50 parts, and they were transported here and were rebuilt here by architects from Ikenobo. So as we can see, it is a typically Japanese style landscape.
私はここで失礼しますので、日本から楽しんでください。
Yamagata-san, Mr. Yamagata just has some affairs, so he can't be with us. So what is this one? Is this a piece of artwork?
这也是池坊家做的一个 九寨沟的造型，里边用的是松木和春季的花朵。
He just told me that this kind of artwork is also made by Ikenobo. This kind of artwork use pine tree branches and also spring flowers.
然后这边的盆栽区还没有到，所以说我们现在这儿有个花艺的展示。
So as you can see, there is a flower arrangement artwork.
然后接下来是
So what's this one?
这也是池坊家的作品，他们就按照春季的花朵、雪柳、芍药，然后配上这个石头，是这样一个作品。
So it is also a flower arrangement artwork from Ikenobo, and they use peony flowers, which is the national flower of China, and they use this bamboo basket and also the black stones to build this artwork.
接下来是我们的一个插花展示。这个插花作品的名字叫《日本的春天》，所使用的全部是春季的花朵，有芍药、芍药、花毛茛，还有土耳其桔梗。
And this kind of artwork is also a flower arrangement artwork. It is called the Spring in Japan, and the material here is all from the flowers which only blossoms in spring.
这是最后一个展区，所展的都是刚刚所介绍的花毛茛、芍药，还有土耳其桔梗。
So this area is the last area of the inner exhibition of Japanese Pavilion, and you can see all of the flower materials shows here have been used into the flower arrangement artwork of the Ikenobo, and you can see
NFD 日本花艺师协会。
Oh, so you can see that there are different kinds of flowers here. You can see that the rain white, voyage blue, and selectum blue. It's hard to pronounce. And these flowers are quite usually used in the art of flower arrangement of Japan.
We expect that hosting the Vatican Horticultural Exhibition
到这儿吧，我们馆的展出就结束了。
So this is the end of the inner exhibition of Japanese Pavilion. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now let's go to the next International Garden and see more exhibition there. Actually, I'm a little bit tired of working here because, as you can see, this place is really, really huge, and there are a huge amount of countries have built their gardens here. I want to introduce them to you one by one, but unfortunately our time is limited. So let's just see where we are now. And we are now at the Garden of the Great Britain. Today we have invited Sarah to introduce this British garden for all of you. So let's just get started. Hello, Sarah.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the UK garden.
Thank you. And Sarah, why is it so beautiful and so unique? What makes it so special?
Well, thank you for coming to the garden today. So we in Britain are very conscious of what is happening to the environment worldwide and the pressure on the environment from development, from climate change, from pollution. So what we want to show in our garden is how you can protect and preserve the natural environment, the natural landscape, which is why we have we have a woodland here, which is where we begin in our garden. So the whole of this side of the garden is a natural woodland, as you would find in Britain. And then from the natural world, we'll move into the urban world. So it's how we protect the natural world, but also how we then make our cities greener. So we begin in our wild wood. So all these trees and plants you would find in a wood in Britain. Silver birch, hostas, box hedge, all of these plants
can usually see
you find in Britain, but
Britain.
they're also all available in China, because many of the plants we have in Britain came from China. So in the 18th and 19th centuries, many British botanists came to China because they'd heard all about the special plants that were here in China, and they wanted to learn how China was using plants, particularly in herbal remedies and things. So that's why we're able to find every plant that we have in Britain in China. So this woodland, the whole garden has about 8,000 plants in it and 100 different varieties of plants. The importance of woodland is that it preserves the environment, it combats the effects of climate change, it ensures the diversity of different plant species, and the more plant species we have and the more we're able to retain, the better for the environment. So we move out of our woodland towards a wildflower meadow, which is also a natural environment. So this is another part of the natural landscape which is under intense pressure from development and building, intensive agriculture, and so a lot of this type of meadowland is disappearing. But it's absolutely critical to humans because all the flowers and plants provide food for the pollinators. So that's bees, other insects, butterflies, birds. And if they don't have enough food, and their food comes from all these flowers, then they will not be able to propagate the seeds and pollinate, and that ensures the continuation of the plants that we eat. So of the top 100 plants that humans consume, 75% of them depend on insect pollination. So if we don't provide the food for the insects, then we're going to lose the plants that we depend on. So that's why it's very important to preserve meadowland and prairie land.
I see.
And this we expect to grow considerably during the course of the expo, but we've already seen lots of insects coming that way. So we're going to go over to this garden here, which is about botanicals, and botanicals are plants that you can use in food and drink and medicines.
We can eat,
yeah,
right?
Yes, absolutely. So, for instance, we've got in this garden roses, which are used in flavorings,
skincare,
and absolutely in toiletries and essential oils. We have lavender.
Lavender. I like the smell of lavender.
Yes, and we have irises. So this plant here, this is an iris, and the root of the iris is used in the making of gin.
Gin.
So gin is a kind of alcohol, and it's very popular in Britain. It's becoming very popular in other parts of the world, and increasingly the makers of gin are putting botanicals, so that's different flavorings of plants in the alcohol. These trees here are juniper trees, and they have a berry which is used in the making of gin as well. And that's a crabapple tree, so that would have apples as well eventually. Apples, yes. So what we're trying to show where so many of the products that we consume, whether it's therapeutic remedies, whether it's food and drinks, have plant materials in them, and that's why it's very important that we keep plants growing, and it's good for the environment as well as being good for ourselves.
Cool.
So we're going to move over to the next part of the garden, and in between these different gardens we have a wonderful water feature.
So why is it a music fountain here?
Okay, so traditionally in Britain, the grand houses of the very wealthy always have wonderful fountains because they're very popular, very ornate sculpted fountains, but they're only accessible to people who own very big houses. So what we're doing in Britain now is introducing these kind of water features into public spaces so that everybody can enjoy them, not just the wealthy, but every single person. And so it's both a natural, again, it's a means of feeling better through using a natural resource like water. It makes us feel better. So it's a wonderful thing to be able to do, and the children particularly love it because they're able to play amongst the fountain. And this fountain has a tank. So the water, we're constantly reusing the water. It's obviously cleaned, but it's not new water, it's recycled water. So it's just a wonderful thing to have in a public space that everyone can enjoy.
I agree. But I can hear the ring bell. Is that from the Big Ben?
Yes, yes. So the soundtrack is basically all sorts of sounds that you would hear in a British summer. So now you can hear the bees buzzing, you can hear people playing cricket or tennis, you can hear the sounds of children playing, of dogs barking, all sorts. It's a typical British sound. So if we move over here, we move into a very traditional style British garden, which is filled again with more flowers that all stimulate the senses. So we've got lots more roses, we've got jasmine, and so everything with beautiful smells, more lavender, more mint. So what we're sharing here is our love of gardens, but also the fact that gardens can be very good for you, so that they make you feel better, and because they stimulate the senses, that's very restorative. So it's both calming and restorative. And in Britain, what's happening today is that there is a lot of thinking about the positive impact and the beneficial effects on people of being inside gardens. So, for instance, there is research and evidence to suggest that people who are suffering from illness or other serious medical conditions can get a sense of real improvement by being in the environment of gardens. And so there are organizations that are creating gardens in hospitals to enable long-term patients to come out of their hospital wards and be inside a garden. And it's been proven to have a really beneficial effect, both physically and mentally, on people. So everybody, this year in Britain, 2019, as well as it being this great anniversary for China, is also the year of green action in Britain. So everybody's being encouraged to grow gardens and to live a much greener life.
That's a big thing.
Very much in tune with the theme of the expo, live green, live better. So that's what we're all going to try and do in Britain.
Okay, another question about this huge national flag.
Yes, okay. Well, so the next part of our story is having shown you the natural landscape and the cultivated gardens that we have, is how we're bringing green spaces into cities. So one of the ways of doing that very effectively is to build green walls, living walls. So, for instance, this wall here is made of plants that absorb the impurities in the air. So they're being increasingly created in public spaces because they combat pollution. That means the air around is much purer. And so we're building them particularly in school playgrounds and children's playgrounds because they clean the air, and they also have a insulating effect. And this plant, particularly the spider plant, is particularly good at absorbing pollution, and they cool the buildings in summer and keep them warmer in winter. And we created the Union flag because it's both having a positive effect on the environment and because it's fun.
And one question: how would
Yeah.
you watering?
Okay, I'm going to show you that now. So if you follow me over there, we'll see how it's watered. I'm going to show you. And then at the end, I'll tell you about this project here, which is interesting. That's a city project.
I have noticed that small house.
So here we have a simple tank. So this is something that anybody could put in their home that collects rainwater. So you have a gutter that collects the rain on the top, and then behind that wall is a pipe, and the water comes down and then feeds into this tank. So anybody could do this at home, and then you create a pond, and the water collects in the tank. There's a pump at the bottom, and the pump pumps the water into the green walls on the other side. So it's a pump that sends the water from here that you've collected from the rain to the green wall, so that it's watered naturally, but through an irrigation system.
That's great. That's brilliant. I think this should be promoted in China. I think so. Everybody here in the Great Britain can have a tank like this one.
Well, there's
in
a lot.
Yard.
Yes, anybody could, and there's a lot of rain in Britain, so it makes lots of sense to collect the rain. So this is the last part of our story, our show. So here we have a small urban city garden. So there's an organisation in Britain called Groundwork, and what they do is they find derelict and unused spaces that are awaiting development, so just grey, abandoned spots in cities, and they bring in a small garden. So it's a community project too, so they show the local community with very, very simple things how you can create a green space in a city. So, for instance, there's a garden shed there which is made of recycled plastic bottles. So it's also teaching people that you can recycle and reuse everything you have and turn them into something which is a really good experience. So the little shed behind also would be made from recycled wood. You can put little planters on the side. Those are strawberry plants. And plant the roof, which is good for the environment. We've just been hearing about that. But it also encourages people to grow plants for food. So there's lots of herbs. We've got rosemary, we've got thyme, we've got oregano, and all of those we use in our food.
Can they grow vegetables?
Yeah, well, they could do. So it's an education project as well as an environmental project. So in so they take these old sacks, builder sacks that you'd use, old building materials that are then get thrown away. They take them, fill them with earth, plant them, and then people can enjoy that. And then when the developers move in to develop the space, they just pack everything up and move it all on to the next spot, the next disused derelict spot, and they start all over again. So it's a continuing project that, as I say, is both greening the city and teaching people how to do it and what impact having a small garden in your community can have on both your welfare and the environment.
Great. I think this kind of activity, green activity, is quite popular in Great Britain.
Well, the British have always loved gardens, but sometimes in cities it's difficult because there isn't the land. So what this project is showing is even without a formal garden, even if you don't own land or own space, you can still, in a disused spot, create a garden from very simple materials. It's very easy to do. And that's what this project is trying to show.
I love this idea. I think it's quite inspiring.
I think so.
We can learn a lot from the experience in Britain and use it in China.
I hope so. I know because you have a lot of cities with tall buildings.
Yeah, because the land is also limited in China, especially in big cities like Beijing.
Yeah, good. Well, hopefully this might help.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you very much.
Thank
you for your information. It's quite precious.
It's a pleasure, and please do come back anytime because the garden's going to be changing all the way through the time of the expo because we'll have new plants
I know
through
it's
the season.
From May to October, right?
Yes. so that it'll look very different at different times during the expo. So please do come back.
I will
and we'll
come
share
back.
some more stories with you.
I will. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. So let's just, this is the end of the English garden, and now let's go to the next one. I have learned a lot from Sarah, you know. She's quite familiar with these designs and creative things in the British garden. This garden in front of us is the Qatar Garden. This country is located in the Middle East. And you can see the style of the architecture is quite exotic. And you can even hear the music from here. You can see a lot of people here. And this garden is built by the country of Qatar for the 2019 Beijing Expo. As you can see, there are 3 floors of this garden. You can see some people are standing on the top, on the roof, on the balcony, and there's a second floor, and on the ground. On the ground, we can see that there is a big trunk. So it seems like the whole garden of Qatar is built on the basis of several big trees. Now let's go upstairs to see what's on the second floor. Hi, hello. And now we are very glad to invite the coordinator of this Qatar Garden. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
How are you? I'm fine.
Have a seat, please.
Thank you.
Where are you from?
We are from China.org.cn, and now we are recording a video about different gardens from different countries here in the Beijing Expo 2019. So we think that this garden of Qatar is quite different from the others. So we are interested that why is it so unique, and what are the interesting activities being held here. So could you please lead us to guide us to find more about this garden?
Yes, sure. Let's go and let's have a tour on Qatar Garden. Have a seat.
Thank you.
And this is the future. Here we are showing people our future project. This is the downtown Sheriff. All this downtown, it's made from green building. So the sustainability here, it's the main purpose of this project. And this some also project in Qatar about the greening and the environmental requirement. Here, the most important future in Qatar, 2022, we will host the World Cup.
So the World Cup, I know.
So we have 8 stadiums, and these 8 stadiums, there's the models of them. One of them is already finished, the Khalifa Stadium. One of them, after 5 days, it will also complete. All these stadiums, for example, this one 40,000 seats, this one 40,000 seats at Tamama, Al-Wakra also, which will finish after 4 days, 40,000 seats. Here also, Ras Abu Aboud 40,000, and this is made from containers. It will be demolished after the World Cup. And this also, it's 40,000 seats, and this is like a tin. also 60,000 seeds.
Wow.
And the biggest one is
Biggest one.
made by Chinese company. So this is the biggest
Chinese
one, is
company.
80,000 seeds. And the opening ceremony and the closing ceremony will be in this stadium.
Wow, now I'm looking forward to go to Qatar to see the World Cup in 2022, right?
Yes, 20. And 2021 we will host also the next expo will be in Qatar. So Horticultural Expo after China, it will be in Qatar. So
Oh,
this pavilion
great.
and this garden is just like a hint, small information to invite our friends to come and see our expo in Qatar. Green gardening, we started with information about what type of a plant we are planting here. This is the tree of Qatar.
life.
Tree of Qatar, and what kind of plant? Because everyone said Qatar is a desert. So there is no plant. Now we have a lot of plant. These kind of species of plant, they live in Qatar and they are grown in Qatar. They have very long root and they are taking water from the underground. So we are fine with the plant. We have green area and we have our vision greening all the countries.
So where are we now?
Here, the green garden, the green tree. Green tea is the tree that talk about environment, about food security. There's the food security in Qatar, how our strategy and how we are planning for next generation and the future of Qatar. Also, we have here the name of the design is the cedar tree. So cedar tree, some products came from cedar tree.
Oh,
so
I
for
know,
example,
it's very famous.
This is like a honey. It's from cedar tree, and there is leaves of the cedar tree, and the leaves we can make it powder like this one. And the people they are using here, women in Qatar, like a shampoo in the past.
wash their hairs, right?
And also for the skin, this is very good for skin. And nowadays we have a shampoo which is made from cedar. So all these products they are cedar, and this is also oil from the cedar. So these products came from our theme, which is cedar tree. And here we are like teaching some information about the plant, the species of the plant, and here the project of Qatar. We are using like a smart farming solution, soil-free and waterless system. This kind of technique that in Qatar we are using, we are like shortage in water, and also the climate is too hot. We have to use a different technique to produce some plants and some crops in Qatar. And we have also the station for water and desalination water and electricity to reserve water for the next generation. So just open Al Hol. It's the main equipment and how we can produce water and desalination the water. And here we're trying to play with the sense. How? We are talking about the roses. And you can see the roses, and there is a smell of the roses while you are reading the information, and you can smell the roses.
Yeah,
smell.
I can smell.
And here also about the basil, the same thing. You can see the basil. There is information, and there is a smell of basil. So we are playing with your sense. You can see, smell, and sometimes touch.
I think you can create an environment. I know.
And here about the coffee bean, because our national drinks is a coffee. Like you are drinking tea, we are drinking coffee.
Yeah.
So we have also here we are smelling the smell of the coffee, and some information about the coffee bean, and we can see the and here also about the mint. Same idea. We are playing with the trees. Now we will go the most attractive tree, which is the Sug Waqf. It's the historical tree.
Historical tree.
It's about the past. So you can see we started from future. After we go to the past, because we respect our past, our culture. We are the country which is always going forward, but we never forget our past. So past is very important. All the children and people they have to know who we are and from where we came. Okay, this is Sug Waqf. Sug Waqf. It started with some exhibition, some photos, which is painted by Qatari artists. And horses is very like royal animals in Qatar.
So
And also-
you Qatar people in Qatar admire horse.
Yeah, and they adapt horses a lot, and they won a lot of like prizes in horse competitions. The beauty and the speed. Also, we have here. This is the most important thing.
Eagle.
Yeah, this is so for us. This is very important.
I know. I have seen that many wealthy people in Qatar they feed eagle, right?
And not only the wealthy, everyone in Qatar they do this. The children now we are teaching them how to go and doing hunting in the desert. Here also you can see this photos is made especially for this expo by Qatari artists, and you can see there is a mix between Chinese woman and Qatari woman.
Mix.
If you see the pattern that you are using, this is Qatari pattern. In
Yeah.
our traditional clothes, this is our Qatari pattern. But the face and the hair,
The makeup.
it's Chinese style. So we try to make all the both culture mixed together, and to see that we are all we will be one, like globalization, and we will be mixing and learning each culture. So you are coming here to learn from my culture, and I am here to learn from the Chinese culture. So this photo are like the art. It's kind of message to tell them women everywhere.
Yeah.
They are same. They
They're
are
the same.
women. And it's not difference. They are in China or in Qatar.
Yeah.
They are all women, and they are sharing same interesting and same attitude and behavior. Here we have some handicraft. In Qatar we have
Carpet.
they do carpet, and these women in Qatar in the previous life, like they are living in desert in tents, and they are taking the wool from the sheep, and they are making their carpet, and it's really special carpet. We call it sadu. Sadu.
So it is one of the most popular souvenir from Qatar, right? Oh,
And
I'm hungry right now. I'm hungry
you
now.
can't feel it. How is it? In China, you can see people, they like medicine, herb, who use it as medicine from the herb, food, and also for like beauty. So we are sharing you same hobby.
Yeah, I love this
cinnamon?
herbs. Yes, because it is usually used in Chinese cooking, in the Chinese kitchen.
Even in our food, it's even
Yeah.
we are using same. And here's some photos about Qatar. This is
Oh, the eagle,
kids.
all right,
See?
yeah.
This is last winter. We've been with a Chinese photographer, and who took this photo. They are from China. They've been with us in the hunting trip.
So they train these eagles for hunting.
Yeah. So, and this is some building in Qatar. For example, here you can see the Qatar National Museum library. This is the biggest library, and also we have here it's just opened the Desert Rose Museum, the Qatar National Museum, which is now it's the old one, and they renovated. It's like a desert rose. It's like a flower in the desert. It's made from the sand, in the sand and the desert, and it's take like 300 or 500 years to find small desert rose. So this is the designs made from desert rose. Okay, now we will go to handicraft. This is the handicraft who's making net, for the fishing. And in Qatar we have people who lives near the desert and
near the sea,
and also this is near the sea. So this is a different culture in my country. This something still we have it. This is we call it bisht. Bisht, it's like a wear that like the royal family wearing, and the groom in his wedding, and all the businessmen they are wearing occasionally. So this is still we have this kind of business. This area we have some traditional clothes. So it's a dressing room. people they can
Oh.
come and they can wear, and you have to try one.
Can I try one?
Yeah,
I want to
sure.
try one of these. I think it's beautiful and it feels very soft.
We wear it in the top of our clothes. So
Does it have
put your
sleeves?
hand here,
Where is the
like
sleeve?
this.
Wow. It's a little bit larger for me.
No, this is
right?
supposed to be big.
Oh.
So it's covered. It's just like a protect the.
I want to
the
see.
woman.
I want to see the mirror. Right.
You can see.
Oh.
We call this top nashel. And you can.
I hope that I can be taller.
And you can come and continue your journey here while you are wearing this. So
really? Can I?
you can sit here, this is a photography section. People after wearing, they can come here and they can take the photos. And in this area, we have lady who's offering free some henna tattoo. So you can go there and you can put some design in your hand. Choose whatever you want, and she will put it for you.
Wow, is that a tattoo?
It's a henna. It stays 5 days, and after 5 days it will go.
So it's only lasts for 5 days, right?
It's made from the herb and the water.
So it's not harmful for your skin, right?
Yeah.
Great. So I can pick a color.
No, it's one color. It's become red color. You know, the color has become red color. So you will choose what design you want, and she will do it for you.
Wow. It's amazing. So I just wait till
dry, and after you peel it, and the colors become till evening darker and darker, and it's become like a maroon color.
Wow. I'm gonna keep this, but it only lasts for 5 days, right?
Yeah, it's only 5 days.
An exotic pattern from Qatar.
How we are wearing our clothes, the traditional clothes. So this is
do I need a belt or something like her?
We put belt, okay, and usually supposed to be like this, but the people, because now it's fashionable, they're occasionally when they go like a party, they put in gold belt and with some gold accessories. So this is how the woman look like in the past in Qatar. And this is the boys. We are still wearing this in Qatar. The boy in the street, you can find them wearing this kind of clothes. We call it thobe. Thobe, yeah. And this is the old girls. Nowadays, we wear like this in school occasion, school party, or maybe some we have middle of the holy month in Ramadan. Children, they are going like Halloween. They are going from houses and they are asking for some candies. So they are wearing the traditional clothes. And we still have it. This is in Qatar for the royal family, and the man they are wearing, or the groom in his wedding, all they are wearing like this.
So do you like the color of white and black?
Because Qatar is a desert. The desert is too much hot. So white color is very, very not absorbing the sun and the heat. So this is the most popular color in Qatar, especially for men. And the black, we are wearing this in the evening occasionally. And there is like a off-white we wear in the morning. So they have two different colors. Okay. Here you can just, for a memory, you can put your hand here. And with the camera and follow the direction here. Go to this spot, please. Now, stay here. See your photo, and we will take a photo for you, and we will keep it as a memory from you to us.
I know. So my picture will become one of those.
Yeah. And now, now we will go to the garden, the roof gardens. We finish from the Souk Waqf and we will go to the roof garden.
So it's on the third floor?
No, now we are on the roof.
Oh.
We finished the heart of the trees. Now we will go to the hanging gardens. We have 5 different gardens.
So this is the top of the garden, right?
Yeah.
Wow, the scenery is beautiful from here.
You can see all Expo from here.
Yeah.
This is the highest
Great.
The top in the Expo, and you can see it from outside. My hotel is front the Expo, and I can see from the balcony my pavilion. This is we call it Al-Bida' Garden. Al-Bida' Garden, the same area location that we will make our Expo 2021. So we brought this sample to tell people that we have the similar garden, and this is the way that all the people before they are taking water and from the groundwater in Qatar.
Wow. The scenery is quite beautiful from here. And
See how people are taking photos there? They are
yeah.
enjoying.
From downside, I can see there are a lot of people here.
You can see here. This is the best area for people. They take photo and they are sitting here, and sometimes they are having the lunch here.
So I will take a photo here. So what are these gates used for?
This in Al-Bida' Park we have this shape. So this is like a sample for our Al-Bida' Park. So we try to show them how our parks look like. You can see like a Turkish pavilion from here. All the countries, the people that are coming, they can take some shots for other garden from our garden.
So from here we can see the Turkey garden and gardens.
Palestine, this is Turkey.
And also the International Pavilion.
Yeah, exactly.
And the China Pavilion.
China, the biggest garden in this place. We will go now for the next garden.
Yeah.
We go down. Next garden is the healing garden. Healing garden we have in Sidra Research Clinic Center. Healing garden, we're trying to meditate people by natural and breathing without using any medicine. So this kind of healing garden, we can find it here in Sidra. It's like teaching people that how nature is important for their health.
Wow.
To hear the voice here is different, totally different.
So this is the healing garden.
This is the healing garden.
Oh, the music has changed.
Yeah, because it's fit with the healing. You sit here. Listen to the music, see how is it. How do you feel now?
I feel quite peaceful in my mind.
And this is the purpose for having this garden.
Yeah.
We want people to know the quality of natural and how the natural is change our health and change it for better. It's better than taking medicine, staying in the green area, listening to the natural music and natural sound, and to be peaceful and happy.
Great.
We'll go for next.
I don't want to leave. I want to stay here.
Here's the maze garden. Maize garden, it's the area that you can find in all around the world.
Yeah.
In any garden, you have like a corner. We call it maize garden. Children, they like to be hiding, playing around this area. It's like a macro maize garden.
Micro,
yeah.
Micro maize garden.
And we will go now for the Islamic garden.
Islamic.
It's Quranic garden, which we have here a plant which it's mentioned in the Holy Quran. And the design is 4 units. In the middle supposed to be a water. All the plants here, it's mentioned. It's like a basil, it's like olive, and there are 4 similar units. And this is Hilal garden. It's last garden here, we have it. Hilal garden, the shape, it's like a moon.
Moon?
Yeah, so you can see the shape.
Yeah.
It's like a moon. But the plant here is different. The plant, when it's faced the sun, it's become shy and it will hide. And the evening, when it's related to the moon, it's become bigger and become shine. So that's why we choose this flower for this garden.
Quite creative. So these are the 5 gardens in the Qatar garden.
You will see in the ground also future garden, flower garden, kids garden. You already saw the kids garden.
Yeah.
This is in the ground floor. So this is for people, they don't want to go up, they want just enjoy to see the greening area. We'll show them some samples of our garden in Qatar.
I think my tattoo has been tried.
No, wait.
No.
It's supposed to be, the color is a little bit lighter. So when it's become lighter, you can peel it. Sometimes when I'm free and it's not busy, I take and I write their name in Arabic. So people, they like to have their name in their hand. Arabic.
Because Arabic is quite different from our characters.
Even Chinese is different. So for us, we are sharing same thing. Arabic is different and Chinese is different.
You're right.
And both of them, they are difficult.
Because you write from the right side to the left side.
Yeah, even the character is different. This is the Eye of Qatar. This garden, we call it Eye of Qatar. Why? You can see here the purple eyes, and there is like a skylines. The skylines of Qatar, it's in the middle of the eye. You can find here like 4 fountain, and in the middle of this fountain, this is the Eye of Qatar, and this is the skylines in Qatar. The future garden, we call it future because all the building here is like a skylines and the towers. So it's totally different than normal garden or houses you can find in Qatar. This is the future of Qatar. In this area also, we are gathering the children, and we have a lot of activities, music, some competition. We will have also some artists and traditional dancing. It will be here in this area, and the people, they can have a fun and they can sit here.
So the performance will be held here, and the audience will sit there.
Exactly, yeah.
So when will these activities?
From after the school holiday, because we are waiting. The families, they finish their exam and they bring their children, and we started the activities. And also in my country, we have the exam till end of June.
So your summer vacation starts from July?
Yeah, it's from July till the end of August. So I think we will have a lot of Qatari people coming and visit your pavilion and your expo and to enjoy in Beijing. We will send a lot of invitation for our people to come and to spend beautiful time here during the summer occasion, and to also to be relationship between Chinese children and Chinese and Qatari children. So
okay, thank you. And now I'm returning my clothes to you. Thank you very much. I like it. I like it very much. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
So I guess this is the end of our small visit to the Qatar garden, right?
Yes, and you are most welcome to be here anytime.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Say Barcelona.
Barcelona, right? Barcelona. So now that I have returned my clothes and I guess my tattoo has been dried, so guess what is our next garden, our next destination? Qatar is really a wealthy and friendly country. So, do you know what is our next destination? It is an Asian country which is near China, and it is very mysterious, and very many people are very interested in it. It is the North Korea. Let's go. So this garden is the North Korea garden, and you can see in the center of the garden, a fountain is put here, and you can see some pigeons. The pigeons are the symbol of peace. This is because the North Korean people, they love peace. And when you go to inside, you can see a different kind of flowers. It is called Kimjongillia. This flower is named after their leader of Kim Jong-il. You can see the blossom is red and it's very big. And on the other side, you can see some souvenirs being selling here. And here you can also see some other dolls wearing their traditional costumes. These souvenirs are all products from the North Korea, and this one is really special because it is the seed of the flower. If you like the Kimjongillia, you can buy a seed here and back to your home and plant it. So this is the inside of North Korea garden. From the name of this flower, I have fully understanding that the North Korean people really love their leaders. And actually, the North Korea garden is the last stop of today's trip. I hope that you have enjoyed this wonderful expo gardens and know more about the horticultural exhibition. And finally, I want to remind you that in the future, in the following months, we will post more interesting short videos and live broadcasts on the topic of Beijing Expo 2019. There will be more interesting topics and activities, so please don't go away and stay following our page. Finally, I want to say that welcome to China, to Beijing, to this expo, to feel the power of sustainable development, as well as to enjoy the beauty of a green life. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.